I want to invite again to Vinita, just to talk, not science, 2 minutes to the people, because you are doing well in chemoinformatics.
Thank you, sir. I would like to say is I'm very grateful that I am been part of this project. And regarding this, I would like to ask if anybody is having any doubts, please feel free to contact me. I'm finding that many people are having doubts, but they are fearing that they are not knowing the things. That's why they are not able to contact the leaders. So it's like if you are having any doubts, please come forward and clarify your doubts.
Okay? I used to ask doubts to Vinita. Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
A simple principle is that if you have a doubt, it is most likely at least 50% of the people in that classroom will have same doubt. So we all have almost same level of intelligence, knowledge and understanding. So do not hesitate to ask doubts. Now, unless you raise questions, you will not have the answers. I don't know how many of you heard in US law schools, they form they have a methodology of teaching called Socrates method. Socrates was a great teacher. He never used to give lectures. He only used to ask questions. So if you raise the right question, you're bound to find the answer. Okay, your ability to reach an answer is based upon the kind of question you are able to raise. So do ask questions and do always ask your doubts to these leaders, because the leaders are there to interact with you and clear all your doubts. Now, our task is very clear. Exactly as what Dr. Jalil has said. We have to create a software that will surpass the existing proprietary softwares that exist. Whether it is Schrodinger, accelerators, anything else, what we should come out would be something much bigger and something much better. Why? There is actually a problem in the world of chemistry. You'll use PubChem. PubChem has been made as an open access, openly available tool by NIH after a constant fight with the American Chemical Association and people who are wanting to control the data. In chemistry, they hold the data very close to their chest, and that is the business model. And it is this business model that is actually creating a problem in access to that information and knowledge. So Steve Bryant of NIH had a long-standing battle with American Chemical Association to bring PubChem data out to the open. Okay, so and Jalil just alluded to that, how the profit is taken from various different countries and then goes back to the source of those who own the intellectual property. People have an interest in keeping the software closed, not letting the source code open. By creating that, you're enabling thousands of students across, not just India, across the world, and maybe millions of students, to look at chemistry in a new, different way. That is the importance of the work that you're doing. So I think we need to listen to Anshu or Dr. Vipin. One of you should actually come and probably give some critical input into, how do you improve upon this work that they are doing.
So, the data mining algorithms, you have used random forest, right?
Yes.
So, can you use some kind of Antminer algorithms to see the accuracy and compare both the methods, like Antminer with random forest? Because Antminer give better accuracies for this kind of results, and the number of cross-fold validations that you can do, it will be more.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Right. We can do that. We'll try that. And Canvas also we are trying with that. Okay.
A very good afternoon to all of you, and I must really appreciate the way the team leaders have spoken and explained their work. I was actually thinking that international speakers were here and describing their stuff. It's of the best quality that I have heard. So I really appreciate that. Oh yes, we are, and you are doing a great job. What I am looking at cheminformatics is from the periphery. I am not technically involved in the project, but because I am part of OSTD and we actually did the same in phase 1, I could really feel what each of you are feeling now, achieving and actually reaching a milestone right now. So what I do believe is that use this bootcamp as an opportunity to clarify all your doubts so that when you go back, you are more clear on the steps, because I do believe that virtual training does work, but it has its own limitations. You know that some of the doubts cannot be clarified. The team leaders cannot be available online 24/7. So you have constraints on time, you have constraints on availability, and of course face-to-face interaction does help clarify a lot of things. So because you're getting this opportunity, this is one of the learnings that we have from phase 1, that if you have a chance to get onto an on-site phase somewhere in the middle of the project, it really helps to speed up the entire activity when you go back. So it's a request to each and every one of you, clarify all your doubts, big, small, so that when you go back, your work progresses much faster. You need not only follow the steps given by your PIs, you should also think of more innovative ways. See, one reason why OSTD is relying so much on the young researchers is that there is too much of training that has gone into people who are old. As in, they have a set pattern, rigidity in their thinking terms. No more innovative ideas. I don't think so they'll hit their mind, but it will definitely hit you because you are untrained. But the whole point is, untrained mind can only think solving a challenging problem when you have your basics clear, when you understand what is the problem, where is the problem. So think, read as much as you can, and come up with new ideas, share with the community, and take it forward. You're doing an excellent job, and I really need to learn from all of you. Thanks a lot.